You ever come home from a war zone thinking nothing could surprise you, then realize your own house has been hijacked while you're gone? Yeah, that happened. My home, my sanctuary, was leased out by my HOA while I was overseas. They claimed I abandoned it because I had the nerve to serve my country. Joke's on them, though. They figured I'd roll over and disappear when I got back. They really didn't know me. First clue was the grass neatly trimmed hedges sculpted like it was open house weekend. See, before I left, that lawn looked like a jungle sprinkler busted and all. Now it's like someone power washed the whole place for Instagram. There's even a brand new welcome mat that says, "Live, Laugh, Love." Ours always said, "Come back with a warrant." And there it was, just this weird, cold gut feeling, not fear, more like my brain clocking details. Something's off, way off. And then I spotted a shiny red Tesla, bold as hell, in my driveway, parked like it owns the block. The way it's sitting there, you just know whoever's behind the wheel feels right at home. I get closer and hear wind chimes. My wife hates those things. That's when I know this ain't just a neighbor being neighborly. Before I even hit the bell, I see a guy through the side window barefoot holding some kale banana smoothie, wearing the uniform of every remote worker since 2020. Next thing I know, the door swings open and this guy, maybe early 30s, shades on his head, stares at me like I'm a census taker. "Can I help you?" he asks. I just say, "This is my house." He tilts his head, all confused. I don't think so, man. I think so. Now, I'm a soldier, not a hothead, but something about this guy's chill is getting to me. I fish out my house key, the same one I kept through all the deployments, but when I slide it in, it won't even turn. The dude says if you're looking for the leasing office, you should call the HOA. I'm Zach, by the way. That's when things start snowballing. Black SUV pulls up, out steps the so-called community safety guys, khakis, polos, and those little tactical vests they probably never used for anything rougher than a spilled soda. "Sir, we're going to need you to step away from the property." I look at them dead on and say, "This is my house. They just parrot tenants have signed paperwork. You're trespassing." And then she arrives. Karen herself. HOA, clipboard, queen beige visor sunglasses big enough to reflect her own guilt. She hits me with the, "Oh, you're early, like I was supposed to RSVP my homecoming. Your wife said you wouldn't be back until Q4. Lady, I was deployed, not on a corporate retreat." But she just flashes her pageant smile, quoting HOA bylaw 14C, homes unoccupied over 90 days get reassigned. And apparently my deployment waiver just never made it to her desk. Classic. So let me get this straight. I say you leased out my house, changed my locks, all while I was getting shot at overseas. She doesn't miss a beat, procedure, not personal. Then she gives me the board meeting song and dance, tells me I can contest it next month. Next month. Like I've got nowhere else to be. I see my wife's deployment photo still hanging in the hallway. That stings. I could snap the key in my hand, but I just turn. Walk away. Not defeated. Just recalculating. You know that motel carpet smell that never leaves your clothes? That's what hits me the next morning. Boots by the bed. My son sleeping with his hoodie up, like armor. I don't even know how to help him. While my family sleeps, I'm hunched over the laptop, scanning HOA bylaws and city codes till my eyes bleed. And right there, buried in Draft Update D, I find it the new rule that lets them take your house if you're gone too long. Backdated too, like someone needed it to cover tracks. Karen's signature is everywhere. I'm not a person to her, just a problem. I head outside to clear my head and spot one of those HOA rent-a-cops from yesterday, laughing on the phone about how the guy freaked out, thought he was going to go Rambo. He says Karen handled it, says I checked out of the neighborhood long before I left. That burns. Later, we drive by the house, not to go in, just for my son to see it. His room is painted over telescope, gone, replaced by a little dog bed. "Is it still our house?" he whispers. What do you even say to that? That night, my wife finds me staring at the screen. "What do we do?" she asks. "We build the file, track every vote, every signature, every dollar. We take back what's ours." She just nods. She's tougher than I ever gave her credit for. Next morning, I show up at the HOA office with a GoPro. I walk right in, snap a pic of Bylaw 14C on the bulletin board. Karen's there. I whisper, "You should be careful who you write laws for." Just then, Mrs. Delaney from the corner lot comes in old school, sharp as a tack. "You did get his deployment notice, right?" Karen goes pale, can't fake it. That one question turned my mess into a court case. Motel room silence can drive you crazy. You're not sleeping, just waiting. My son's buried in blankets. My wife's staring at the ceiling, probably making plans B, C, and D. And me, I'm half-dressed, laptop open, HOA charter mocking me from the screen. Then a cease and desist pops up. Unauthorized surveillance for wearing a camera into the office. They're baiting me, hoping I'll snap. Instead, I park near my house at night. Wait. New tenant comes out, Ron, dumping my old bookshelf on the curb. I walk over, voice steady. That shelf was my son's. You don't throw out someone's life just 'cause it looks broken. The guy actually apologizes. Maybe he gets it. Back at the motel, my wife asks, "So what's the plan?" For the first time in weeks, I give her the real answer. "I'm calling in the team." She just nods, already thinking logistics. We meet at the Shell station. My old squad, Ramos, Yates, Bowen, Davis, everybody's back. No weapons, no drama, just pure resolve. This is an op now, not a grudge match. We move to an abandoned vape shop, lay out the grid. Bowen hacks the HOA cams. Yates lays out the sat map. Reed shows up, hadn't talked since Kandahar. He wants to make sure this isn't about revenge. It's not. This is about coming home. We split into pairs, everyone running cameras and mics. Karen thinks we're here to scare her, but all we want is the truth. Then at 0600, it's not Karen who opens the door. It's the sheriff. They know we're coming. Karen's there too, acting like a movie villain, taunting us with more paperwork, more threats. Sheriff Blaine's cool, but his deputy's itching to escalate. Davis shuts him down with one sentence. Any rough stuff, it's excessive force and we're filming everything. Karen tries to call us thugs with internet access, but then we show the sheriff the proof meeting audio forged clauses, IP address, edits, all pointing back to her house. And right then my phone buzzes. A woman's voice. "You're about to be served. IRS fraud, illegal rentals." Karen's not working alone. Ramos sees the look on my face. Afghanistan flashbacks the works, but this time he says, "You still got us out." That look means we're winning. They're scared. We keep digging, and sure enough, Karen's just the front. Redford, my former commanding officer, is in on it. He wrote the clause that lets them steal homes from deployed military. Arrogance made him sloppy, so we trace everything, build a kill packet with all the evidence, send it to the DA State Housing Board, everybody. The next move, we go public. Viral video tenants coming forward, more stolen homes, all military. And the real monster is Monroe, the HOA treasurer, who's been signing off on every illegal lease, making a fortune off us while we were in combat. We deliver the files to the DA. Monroe gets indicted. Karen's scrambling files, bogus complaints to try and get my house condemned, but the inspection clears me. The city flags her for fraud instead. That's what finally does her in, not the arrest, not the humiliation, but the debt. The board makes her pay back every penny. She's ruined lawyer walks. Court finds her guilty on every count. The HOA disbands, and the homeowners finally get restitution. But it doesn't end there. I come home, finally porch light buzzing, dogs snoring, and for the first time in years it feels quiet. But there's a note in the mailbox, just one word. Appeal. And a key labeled Unit 13. Problem is that unit doesn't exist. At least not in any records we can find. Karen's last move, or maybe Monroe's, who knows? Because with people like them, you never really win. You just get one step ahead. So let me ask you, when the folks in charge can steal from the people they're supposed to protect, who's really keeping the peace? Is it the ones with the clipboards or the ones willing to fight for what's right? No matter where that fight takes them. Yeah, I won my house back. But the real war, the one for justice, that's still on. What do you think? Did we do the right thing, or is there more to fix? Share your thoughts, because sometimes the only way to end a broken system is to shine a light on every crack and make sure nobody ever gets left behind again.